Hello friends, welcome back once again in the video lecture series of operating system. Its subject code is 1618305 according to your SBT syllabus. Today I am going to teach you unit number 2. Its name is process, and under process I will teach you performance evaluation of the CPU utilization. This is my name and my designation. So let's start with the video. So before starting the video or going deeper into the content, let's take a quick review on the important topics that I am going to cover in this video. First of all, I will start with introduction. Next, I will talk to you about scheduler, then different scheduling criteria. After scheduling criteria, I will straightway try to give the performance evaluation of your CPU scheduling algorithms. Next, I will try to teach you about priority allocation and obviously process control block, which is very important in this scenario. Lastly, I will try to accumulate all the above topic during summary slide, and at last I will also provide you some good references. So let's start with the first topic, that is the introduction. So an operating system provides numerous, that means several functions such as IO management, memory management, process management, file management. As you all know, that operating system is responsible to take care of all these things: IO, process, file, and memory. That is why they are also known as IO management, memory management, process management, and file management, respectively. Since the operating system is nothing but it is a set of programs which can interact with the computer hardware during the execution time, right? So the process management plays an important role, and its function is to provide by an operating system only, right? So CPU scheduling is extremely necessary. So what does it do basically? So operating system under process management tries to maximize the utilization of CPU. It make a multitasking environment so that it could able to make the CPU and IO devices busy all the time. Several scheduling algorithm that has been designed so far is used to regulate the access of threads and process, right? Which is executed by CPU, such as FCFS, that is first come first serve, SJF, that is shortest job first, SRT, that is shortest remaining time first, and RR, that is round robin scheduling algorithm. Basically, these scheduling algorithm is used to evaluate the performance. How performance can be evaluated? They are having certain criteria or parameter. First is your throughput, second one is your latency, third one is your utilization, fourth is your turnaround time. Turnaround time means what? It is the time between the process comes and finish it jobs. And waiting time means what? It is also very important that how long a process is being associated with the IO task to complete its IO routine. So major purpose of multiprogramming is to provide the all the process runs at all the times, right? Okay. So all the computer resources needed to be scheduled before use them. Thus, scheduling is the main function which is provided by the operating system. What does it mean? While talking about process management, we want that all the process must be several process must execute all the times. For that, the operating system has a responsibility to schedule in what way the process will be given to the CPU for execution. Since the CPU is one of the main resources, its scheduling technique is fundamental to the operating system design. So this is very important. Operating system design or designing of the operating system is depending upon how we can maximize the utilization of CPU. When we have more than one process for running, then CPU scheduling determines which process will run first. That means when several processes are interested to execute under CPU at that time, CPU must has to be scheduled in what way it will take the process and to execute. While talking about resource utilization and overall system performance, CPU scheduling will affect very importantly. That means CPU scheduling is going to play an important role in resource utilization also. There are four types of scheduling involved in multitasking system, with each solving a scheduling problem for each area of operating system functionality. Basically, we are dealing with four types of CPU scheduling algorithm whenever we are talking about performance evaluation of scheduling algorithm. So now next talk about scheduler, because when we are talking about performance evaluation, scheduler plays an important role regarding that, right? So first is your long term scheduler, middle term scheduler and short term scheduler, right? So what are the basic differences between these two? Long term scheduler is the scheduler which is also known as admission scheduler, which is used to decide which process ought to brought to the ready queue. That means the long-term scheduler is taking responsibility to take the process from new state to ready state, and it will take the longer time to decide. That is why it is known as your long scheduler. When we have process attempt to execute, long-term scheduler decide whether to admit or delay this process. So whenever a process wants to execute, it it is the responsibility of long-term scheduler that whether this process should be given to CPU for execution or not. Let's talk about middle term scheduler. Middle term scheduler is used to temporarily remove of the process from main memory to the secondary memory. See, middle term scheduler takes an important role of shifting the process between main memory and secondary memory when it is required, right? So when a process is bringing back from secondary memory to main memory, it is known as swap in, and vice versa is known as swap out. Okay. Short-term scheduler is an important role, plays an important role in process management, and it is used to decide which process in the ready queue in the memory or should be executed through the CPU. That means short-term scheduler has to decide which of the process should reside where, whether it should be in the ready queue, whether it should be in the main memory, or whether it should be given to the CPU for the execution. It also follow the CPU clock interrupt. Clock interrupt means what? That short-term scheduler also gives the priority to the high priority job if it is necessary. Making scheduling discussion is more frequent for short-term scheduler than long-term scheduler and then middle-term scheduler. That means the heavy task, the heavy responsibility is given to the short-term scheduler. The short-term scheduler can be primitive or non-primitive. Primitive means what? That voluntarily a process is being taken from the CPU, right? And non-primitive means what? The process will be continue for execution till it ends its execution. So a primitive scheduler forces any process to exit the CPU. That means जब हमारा टाइम पूरा हो जाता है CPU का जो slotted टाइम है, जो given टाइम है, then Short-term scheduler forces the process to be extracted from the CPU. It decides to allocate the another process to CPU. ये भी काम जो होता है वो शॉर्ट टर्म शेड्यूलर का ही होता है कि कौन सा नया प्रोसेस आपको CPU को देना है एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए, राइट? Non-preemptive scheduler cannot force a process to exit the CPU. That means what? It will remain continue for the execution till ends. So whatever scheduling criteria that is used majorly, since each CPU scheduling has its own property that we all know, choosing a particular algorithm might favor the class of process over another. See, scheduling criteria is basically depending upon what type of process is coming for the execution, and there is no definite or constant scheduling criteria. Scheduling criteria may vary due to the characteristics of process which has came for the execution. In order to choose the algorithm to use a particular situation, that's I have already discussed it, that means it is depending upon what type of process is coming for execution. On that basis the particular algorithm will be chosen. The property of various algorithm must be considered. That means we have to, whenever we are talking about the performance, that each and every prospects of a algorithm has to be taken when while execution takes place. It is suggested that several criteria to compare the CPU scheduling algorithm. So before the real implementation of CPU scheduling, we have to go for each and every comparison, and then we have to implement that which criteria will be suitable for the process execution, so that the performance of the system must be maintained. We are also talking about utilization and efficiency. That is also very important point. What we want through CPU, that CPU utilization must be 100% all the time. That means CPU never sits idle. The throughput is also plays an important role during calculation of the performance of your CPU scheduling algorithm. So what are the different types of CPU algorithm that we are using in performance uh, evaluation of performance? So CPU scheduling is the process of determining which process in the queue is to be allocated first to CPU. See, what is the CPU scheduling? आपस में प्रोसेस में झगड़ा ना हो रेडी क्यू में आने के बाद कि कौन सा प्रोसेस किस पहले जाएगा सीपीयू के एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए, इसीलिए हम लोग मेनली सीपीयू शेड्यूलिंग एल्गोरिथम को हम लोग डिजाइन करते हैं. तो इस तरीके के जो सीपीयू शेड्यूलिंग होते हैं वो प्रिमिटिव भी हो सकते हैं और नॉन प्रिमिटिव भी हो सकते हैं, राइट? ओके, बेसिकली these are divided by the clock intervals. Clock intervals means clock interrupts, that how they are going to be handled. Next is your preemptive scheduling. What do you mean by preemptive scheduling? The process will be voluntarily extract from the CPU when the time span completes. This type of scheduling is also known as runnable, right? Okay. One of the process has been initiated by CPU. First of all, the first process will be taken by the CPU for execution. Later on, it can be temporarily suspended for a given period of time. Means after executing some portion of the process, it will go to the ready queue or IO for next chance to be execution. This act of temporary suspension, a task of taking away and give it to be to another, is known as preemptive scheduling, right? Means voluntarily taking of a process फ्रॉम सीपीयू, जबकि प्रोसेस का एग्जीक्यूशन पूरा नहीं हुआ है और किसी और प्रोसेस को दे देना, इसी को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? नॉन प्रिमिटिव शेड्यूलिंग, राइट? ओके, so what is non-preemptive scheduling? In nutshell, first of all I will let you know In non-preemptive scheduling is scheduling when a process is given to the CPU for entire execution, right? So let's talk one by one in this regarding this by point wise. So this is the process. This process is clear contrast to preemptive scheduling because once a process has been initiated to the CPU, that means सिर्फ एक ही बार CPU को ये प्रोसेस दिया जाता है, दोबारा नहीं दिया जाता है, यानी कि तब तक CPU उसको नहीं छोड़ेगा जब तक CPU की वो कंप्लीट ना कर दे. इसलिए मैंने इसको पॉइंट वाइज मैंने कोशिश किया बताने के लिए. इट कैन नॉट बी सस्पेंडेड और टेकन अवे, ये कभी भी लिया नहीं जाता है, सस्पेंशन कभी नहीं होता है इसका, और ये कभी वॉलंटरी इसको कभी भी सीपीयू से छीना नहीं जाता है, राइट. दिस टाइप ऑफ शेड्यूलिंग differs from primitive scheduling in number of ways since the scheduler executes the job. So it is different from primitive scheduling. Why? Because in primitive scheduling, a time slot is given to CPU, and after completion of the time slot, the process will be voluntarily forcefully extract from the CPU. जबकि इसमें ऐसा नहीं होता है. When the process terminates or when the process switches from the running to waiting state, इसमें दो ही चीजें होती हैं. यानी तो प्रोसेस पूरी तरीके से कंप्लीट हो जाए तब वो सीपीयू को छोड़े, या नहीं तो सीपीयू को छोड़ने के बाद अगर आईओ वाला काम अगर बाकी है तो वो आईओ वाला काम करने के बाद दोबारा खुद ही वो आपका सीपीयू में आ जाएगा, राइट. ओके, द रिस्पॉन्स टाइम इज प्रेडिक्टेबल. दिस इज रियली वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. if we are going for non-preemptive scheduling, then we can examine or we can predict that what will be our response time. Let's talk about time priority allocation. That is also very important when we are talking about the performance evaluation of CPU scheduling, right? So in system there is a need to divide the process of high priority and low priority. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वी शुड बी हैविंग a quite differentiation between what are the high priority jobs and what are the low priority jobs, right. The priority allocation system allows the scheduler to select the process with the high priority rather than the low priority one. ऐसा इसलिए होता है ताकि शेड्यूलर जो होता है उसको ये हेल्प मिले कि जो भी हायर प्रायोरिटी जॉब्स हैं वो पहले सेलेक्ट हो बजाय कि लोअर प्रायोरिटी जॉब के. The process of priority allocation starting with a higher priority, which presents a really a challenge, right? Okay, a solution of this was to change the priority allocating system. See, which is having the higher priority, हम लोग higher priority को कैसे हम लोग select करें, ये challenge हमेशा से शुरू से रहा है शेड्यूलर के लिए. इसीलिए हम लोग एक तरीके के टेक्निक को इस्तेमाल करते हैं. दैट टेक्निक इज नोन एज priority allocation. So priority allocation is a technique through which we can prioritize the execution of the process according to their higher priority to lower priority. Priority could change not only according to the whether a process was high or low priority, but according to the execution history and age. That is really really very important. See, इसको मैं हिंदी में बताना चाहता हूँ. प्रायोरिटी एलोकेशन की वजह से सिर्फ हम लोग सिर्फ हाई प्रायोरिटी जॉब और लो प्रायोरिटी जॉब के बीच में डिफरेंशिएट नहीं करते हैं. हम इस चीज को भी देखते हैं कि कोई प्रोसेस अगर रेडी क्यू में आया है तो वो कितना पहले आया है और उसका एज मीन्स व्हाट कि कितने समय तक वो रेडी क्यू में बिना सीपीयू के अटेंशन से वो अभी तक उसको एक बार भी सीपीयू को नहीं मिला. दैट इज नोन एज योर एजिंग. तो इसके वजह से क्या होगा कि हम लोग प्रायोरिटी एलोकेशन करने की वजह से क्या होता है कि हम लोग स्टारवेशन या डेडलॉक के सिचुएशन से हम लोग बचते हैं, right. And there are some several other ways which is used to assign the priority to the process, which is included internal or dynamic. Right. Okay, fine. So priority are assigned according to the specific algorithm. So there are certain priority based algorithm also through which we can prioritize the incoming or upcoming process for execution, right. Next is very important, external and statically. In this, priorities are assigned by the external system manager before being scheduled to the processor. यानी इस सिचुएशन में जो प्रायोरिटी जो डिसाइड होता है, दैट इज नॉट डिसाइडेड बाय द शॉर्ट टर्म शेड्यूलर, इट इज बीइंग अर्लियर डिसाइडेड कि आपका किस फैशन में आपका ये प्रोसेस जो है वो एग्जीक्यूट करेगा. नेक्स्ट इज नोन एज हाइब्रिड प्रायोरिटी. What is a hybrid priority? This includes the internal and external schemes both. That means we also go for the dynamically, which is known as internal, and we also go for statically, right? So it depends upon the nature of the process. Priority is being allocated or priority is being assigned, and this type of priority is known as your hybrid priority. Time interruption. Time interruption is an important process that protects the process from getting stuck in infinite loop. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि एक प्रोसेस हमेशा इनफाइनाइट लूप में चले जाए और उसको कभी भी चांस ना मिले एग्जीक्यूशन का सीपीयू के थ्रू. तो ये इस चीज का ख्याल कौन रखता है? दैट इज बीइंग टेकन बाय दिस responsibility is taken by your timer interruption. Okay, next one is your, when a process is initiated to CPU. Process is initiated to CPU का मतलब क्या होता है कि प्रोसेस को फर्स्ट टाइम सीपीयू को किस समय दिया गया, राइट? द टाइमर बिगिंस एंड काउंट इन एन इंटरवल. मतलब इस चीज के बारे में भी प्रायोरिटी एलोकेशन इस चीज को भी मद्देनजर रखता है या इसकी अकाउंटेबिलिटी मेंटेन करता है कि उसको फर्स्ट टाइम सीपीयू कब मिला और कितने देर तक मिला. A new process can be installed in the processor with the scheduling decision. So as per the scheduling decision only, the new process can be installed or can come for the this execution. So talking about, not talking about process control block in while performance evaluation will be quite incomplete. That is why I have taken this account. So CPU basically carries the number of tasks, right, which includes the registering all the saved and loaded process, preparing process, running process once they are ready. See, when we are going for execution of a process, they may have number of states, and these number of states must be known to the CPU of a particular several process. So how it will be done? Until unless that every process is having its own process control block. So these register files are stored in the PCB. Register file basically holds the status of the process through which the CPU can understand or operating can understand where we have to take the process for re-execution. So PCB has all the information regarding status, data, segment, code for a process, and each process has a PCB associated with it. PCB is really very important, since other than this, it is being very important data structure which is used in CPU scheduling algorithm. It contains, what are the important things that PCB contains? Stack, that is process stack, process control information, process register value, process priority, and process identification information. So these things are being taken care by your process control block, and through which only CPU को ये पता चलता है कि किस प्रोसेस को हमने कहाँ तक एग्जीक्यूट किया है और उसके बाद कहाँ से उसका एग्जीक्यूशन करना शुरू करना है. पहली चीज. दूसरी चीज, प्रोसेस कंट्रोल ब्लॉक ही प्रोसेस के स्टेट के बारे में बताता है कि पर्टिकुलर ये जो प्रोसेस है वो किस स्टेट में है, रेडी में है या वेटिंग में है या सस्पेंडेड रेडी में है या सस्पेंडेड ब्लॉक में है, राइट? तो सीपीयू को कहां से उसको उठाना है. सो अंटिल अनलेस दिस प्रोसेस कंट्रोल ब्लॉक विल नॉट गिव द इंफॉर्मेशन, it is very difficult for a operating system to manage all these criteria, right? So let's talk about summary that we have already discussed so far in this video. So basically operating system is having the important function such as IO management, memory management, process management and file management, right? These are having its very important functions. Since operating system is a set of programs which interact mainly with the computer hardware during the execution of time. See why these management are very important, because operating system is playing an important role while interacting with the computer hardware. Process management is an important function which is provided by the operating system so as to maximize the CPU utilization. That is very important. When we have to execute more than one process at a time, at that time CPU scheduling is must, which will take care of the process in what way they will going to execute. Resource utilization is one of the important criteria when we are talking about the CPU scheduling algorithm. And all these things, basically all these things can be synchronized only if the process is maintaining the state of process is maintained by the PCB. So here are good references regarding book, URL and YouTube. You may visit all these sites for excel your knowledge, although you will be having a PDF of these books available on net also. So thank you so much for